Because, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me, not just with your ears, but with your soul. Stop scrolling for a second. Look deeply within. Because what I'm about to say, if you truly take it in, can change your life forever. There is a voice inside you, a voice that's been whispering, crying, sometimes even shouting, like a forgotten compass pointing north, desperate for your attention. But you've been ignoring it for far too long. It's the voice that knows who you really are. It is your blueprint, the voice that remembers what you were born to do. And for just 3 days, I want you to listen. Not to fear, not to doubt, not to the voice of excuses. Understand this profound truth about your existence. The words you speak aren't just sounds that vanish into the air. They are energy. They carry weight. They have power, and they shape the reality around you. Every word you say, whether spoken out loud or in your mind, is shaping your future. Think of your thoughts as the electricity powering the circuit. Your thoughts create your words influence your actions, and your actions define the life you live. If you truly understood how powerful your words are, you'd be more careful with how you speak to yourself. Most people don't even realize they're speaking negativity into their own lives. They treat their self-talk like noise, but it's actually programming. They wake up and say things like, "I'm so tired, I'm not good at this, I can't do this." Or "Nothing ever works out for me." These phrases are poison, injected daily into your potential. They might seem small, maybe even harmless, but they're powerful because they reinforce your beliefs. Your subconscious mind hears everything you say, and here is the key: it doesn't ask if it's true or false. It just takes it as a command. This is critical. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," your mind believes it, and your actions will follow that belief. You become your own jailer. You'll hesitate, you'll hold back. You'll stop yourself from going after things, those big goals you whisper about, because deep down, you've told yourself that you're not capable. The words you speak also profoundly affect how you see the world. If you're always complaining, if you're always focused on the negative, your brain will filter everything to match those thoughts. We talked about this. It's the reticular activating system, that powerful searchlight in your brain. If you keep feeding it fear, it will find fear. If you say, "I always struggle," your brain will start noticing every struggle and overlook all the moments of ease. If you constantly declare, "I never get lucky," your mind will ignore all the small wins and lucky breaks that happen every day. But you can take the lens back. If you change your words and start saying, "I find solutions, I attract opportunities, I'm getting stronger every day," then your brain starts picking up on progress, chances, and open doors where before you only saw walls. This shift in language is your declaration of independence from your past limitations. Now look at the champions. The most successful people in the world understand this power. They don't let negative words control their minds. They wake up in the morning and speak success before they even leave their beds. They breathe life into their goals before they even see results. They don't wait for proof. They speak the reality they want first. They say, "I am capable even when doubt shows up." They say, "I am strong even when life feels heavy." They say, "I'll find a way even when the road ahead isn't clear." And because they keep repeating those truths, because they declare it with conviction, they do find a way. They push forward, they overcome, and eventually they turn those words into their reality. Think about an athlete training for a championship. Imagine them running laps and whispering, "I'll never be good enough." Do you think they'll perform at their best? Of course not. But if they wake up each day saying, "I'm built for this, I'm ready, I perform under pressure," their body and mind align with that belief. They train harder, they go further, they sharpen their skills. And when it's time to compete, they walk in with the mindset of a champion. That confidence didn't just happen. It was spoken into reality long before the big moment came. The same principle applies to every part of your life. Whether you want success in your career, your relationships, your health, or your personal growth, it all starts with how you speak to yourself. If you consistently say, "I'm just not good with money," your actions will reflect that. You won't take chances. You'll avoid new opportunities. You'll hold yourself back from financial growth without even knowing it. You become what you repeat to yourself. But if you shift your language and start saying, "I'm learning to create wealth, I'm capable of earning more, I attract financial growth," your mindset shifts and your actions change. This isn't merely motivational talk, this is backed by science. Psychologists have shown that self-affirmation can literally rewire the brain's pathways. Athletes, entrepreneurs, and world leaders know that words are not just for communication. They are powerful tools that shape reality. Your body listens too. It is an amplifier of your words. Even your body responds to your words. If you say, "I feel weak," your energy will drop. But if you say, "I feel strong today," your posture changes, your breathing deepens, and your energy lifts. Your mind and body are connected, and your words are the bridge between them. Speak strength, and you'll feel stronger. Speak defeat, and you'll feel weaker. Most people never experience the true explosive power of this because they're trapped in the automatic habit of negative self-talk. It's not even intentional anymore. It's robotic. It's the default setting you must override. But what if, just for 3 days, that's all I ask, you chose to speak differently? What if, for just 3 days, you cut out every single negative phrase? What if, instead of saying, "I can't," you said, "I'll figure it out"? What if, instead of saying, "I'm not enough," you declared, "I'm getting better every day"? What if, instead of saying, "This is too hard," you announced, "I was made for challenges like this"? Your words shape how you feel, how you act, and what you accomplish. It won't be easy at first, I promise you. Your mind is used to the old, comfortable way. But if you stay consistent, if you catch yourself every time you slip into negative talk and replace it with strong, positive words, something amazing will start to happen. You'll begin to believe in yourself more. You'll start to see yourself differently. You'll act differently. And once that powerful internal shift happens, there's absolutely no limit to what you can do. Successful people meticulously protect the way they speak. They don't let careless words leave their lips. They absolutely do not speak fear, failure, or limitation. They don't say, "I hope it works." They say, "I'll make it work." They don't say, "I'll try." They say, "I'm doing this." They don't say, "Maybe someday." They say, "Day one starts now." That is how you build a new reality. You do not wait for success to show up before you speak like a winner. You speak it first, and success follows. You don't wait to feel strong before declaring your strength. You declare it, and your strength rises to meet your words. You don't wait for life to get better before changing your language. You change your words first, and life shifts in response. So here is your crucial assignment, your daily mirror check. What are you saying to yourself every single day? Are you building yourself up or tearing yourself down? Are you speaking life into your dreams or blocking your blessings with your words? Are you programming your mind for success or reinforcing failure without even realizing it? The words you choose today will sculpt the reality you wake up to tomorrow. Choose carefully. Choose powerfully. Fear is the invisible cage that holds people back from stepping into their true potential. It doesn't yell, it whispers, like a serpent in your ear, planting seeds of limitation. It doesn't attack directly, it sneaks in through cracks of doubt, moments of hesitation, and the endless what-ifs that swirl in your mind. It hides as logic, caution, or preparation, but at its core, it's just a thief stealing dreams before they have the chance to grow. It convinces you that you're not ready, not capable, not enough. And the more you listen to it, the stronger it gets. It starts small, perhaps a quiet thought. What if I fail? Then it multiplies, builds a case, gathers proof, and plays out 100 worst-case scenarios in your head. It reminds you of every mistake, every rejection, every time you felt small or embarrassed. And then it whispers the most dangerous phrase of all: stay safe. It tells you staying the same is better than risking the unknown. It convinces you that comfort is the goal, that safety is success, that avoiding failure is smart. But what fear doesn't tell you is the crushing cost of listening to its advice. It won't mention the dreams left behind, the goals never chased, the moments of greatness that never happened because someone let fear call the shots. Fear is the reason why people settle, why they live beneath their potential. It doesn't tell you that everyone who has ever done something meaningful had to face fear to do it. It doesn't tell you that courage doesn't mean being without fear, it means choosing to move forward in spite of it. Fear feeds off hesitation. The more you wait, the stronger it becomes. The more you overthink, the louder it gets. It lives precisely in the space between decision and action, right where doubt creeps in. It's here, in that hesitation, where you start to question if you're good enough, strong enough, or truly ready. If fear can keep you stuck there long enough, it knows you'll talk yourself out of trying. You'll convince yourself it's not the right time, that you need more experience, more knowledge, or more support. And so you wait for the perfect moment, for fear to vanish, for everything to make sense. But the hard truth is, it never does. And so, nothing changes. The truth is, fear never fully goes away. It will always be there, waiting for an opening. The goal isn't to erase it, but to stop letting it lead. You must recognize it for what it is: a challenge, a test, a chance to show yourself you're stronger than your doubt. Every time you push through fear, every time you act in spite of it, you loosen its grip. You prove to yourself that what you were afraid of wasn't as big as it seemed. You realize the worst-case scenario your mind created was just a story, and that even if you fail, you're still here. You're still learning and growing. Fear can't survive when you take action. The moment you take a step forward, the moment you stop letting it freeze you, it starts to lose power. The first step is always the hardest. The first time you put yourself out there, the first risk, the first moment you believe in yourself. Even with fear shouting in your head, your hands may shake, your heart may race, your mind may spin, but then you do it. You take that step and you realize the world didn't end. You're still standing, you're stronger than you thought, and then you take another step and another, and with each one, fear gets smaller. There will always be a voice in you saying to be careful, to play it safe, to avoid risk. That voice isn't necessarily your enemy, it's trying to protect you. But protection isn't the same as growth. You weren't meant to live a life that's only safe. You weren't made to shrink or hold back or stay inside the lines fear has drawn. You were made to stretch, to reach, to go beyond what you thought possible. You were made to try, to fail, to rise again. You were made to truly live, not just exist in comfort. Fear will tell you that you're not ready, that you need more time, more practice, more certainty. But the powerful truth is, you'll never feel completely ready. You'll never have all the answers. Fear may never fully go away, but you can still begin. You can choose not to let fear be the reason you hold yourself back. You can choose to act even when your heart is pounding, even when your mind is full of doubt, even when everything in you wants to retreat. Because once you start, once you take that leap, you'll see fear was never the wall you thought it was. It was just a shadow, only as strong as you allowed it to be. Think of the giants you admire. Some of the most successful people in the world were once terrified to start. They doubted themselves. They wondered if they were good enough. But they didn't let fear make the decision. They moved anyway. They accepted the discomfort, the unknown, and they kept going. And because they did, they achieved what once seemed impossible. They built lives others only dream of. Not because they were fearless, but because they refused to let fear lead. You have the same choice right now. Fear will always be waiting in the background, ready to list every reason not to try. But it doesn't have the final say. You do. You decide if fear wins or if you rise. You choose whether to stay in the familiar or to step into something greater. Fear is a voice, but it's not the truth. It's an illusion that feels real only because you gave it power. The only way to take that power back is to move, to act, to choose your goals, your future, your dreams over your fears. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is how willing you are to push through fear. Greatness doesn't come out of nowhere. It's not a gift reserved for a lucky few. It's built and reinforced day by day through the words you speak to yourself. Your mind is a battlefield, and every day you decide whether to feed it strength or poison it with doubt. The way you speak, the beliefs you hold about yourself and what you can do, shape your choices, your actions, and in the end, your entire life. If you don't affirm your greatness every day, the world will relentlessly try to convince you that you are just average. Most people go through life unaware of the constant inner dialogue in their minds. They carry beliefs planted during childhood, words from parents, teachers, or society that shaped their self-image before they were old enough to question them. Some were told they were strong and meant for success. Others were told they were average, that they wouldn't amount to much, or that they should play it safe, and without realizing it, they accepted these stories as truth. Those beliefs became background noise, influencing every decision and every risk taken or avoided. But I need you to ask yourself, what if those words weren't true? What if those limits were never real? What if you could change the script right now and decide who you truly are? The mind is programmable. What you feed it, it will believe. What you repeat, it will absorb. If you wake up every day and say, "I'm not good enough," your mind will find reasons to prove it. If you say, "I can't handle this," your brain will lower your confidence and energy to match that thought. But if you make the decision to say, "I am powerful, I am built for this, I am unstoppable," your mind will begin to shift. It will start to align your thoughts, body language, and energy with those words. Affirmations are not just phrases, they are commands. They tell your subconscious what to believe, what to focus on, and what to create. Successful people don't leave their mindset to chance. They don't let random negative thoughts control their actions. They wake up every day and declare who they are. They look in the mirror and remind themselves of their strength, their purpose, their ability to handle anything. They speak their vision into existence long before it becomes real. This isn't ego, it's training the mind for success. The world will try to label you, limit you, and define you based on your background or other people's opinions. If you don't take charge of your own story, if you don't affirm your greatness every day, you'll unconsciously accept the limited version of yourself that others expect from you. You'll shrink to fit instead of growing into your full potential. Some people brush off affirmations as just fluffy self-help talk, but they don't realize they're already using affirmations, just in the wrong direction. Every time you say, "I can't do this," you're affirming weakness. Every time you say, "I always mess things up," you're reinforcing failure. Every time you say, "I'm not smart enough, not talented enough, not lucky enough," they're programming themselves to live small. The mind listens and accepts it without judgment. Imagine someone who spent years telling themselves, "I'm shy, I'm not confident, I'm bad with people." That belief becomes part of their identity. They hesitate and avoid contact, not because they are inherently incapable, but because they've convinced themselves that's who they are. But if that same person started saying, "I am confident, I am charismatic, I feel comfortable around people," and repeated it daily with conviction, their brain would start to adapt. They would begin to carry themselves differently, engage more, and believe in themselves a little more each day. Soon, those words stop being just words. They become reality. That's the power of daily affirmations. It's about reinforcing the truth of your potential until your mind accepts it as fact. It's about replacing years of negative beliefs with something stronger, something real. It's about deciding that you are done with self-doubt, insecurity, and limits. Every morning, before the world tells you who you are, you have to tell yourself, look in the mirror, speak with confidence, say it like you believe it. I am strong, I am powerful, I am a leader, I am fearless. Say it again and again until there's no room left for doubt. Say it until it's not just something you say, but something you feel. Don't wait for proof to believe in yourself. Believe it first, and the proof will come. Your mind is a powerful tool, but only if you use it the right way. If you don't guide your thoughts, they'll take over. If you don't speak life over yourself, the world will speak limits over you. If you don't affirm your greatness daily, you'll forget it's even there. There's no cap on what you can do, no ceiling on your potential, only the limits you've accepted. And those limits are created by words and beliefs repeated so often, they started to feel like truth. But you can break them. You can rewrite them. You can decide right now that from this moment on, you will speak to yourself with confidence, with strength, with certainty. You will affirm your greatness every single day until it becomes a part of who you are, so deeply rooted in your soul that nothing and no one can shake it. Limiting beliefs are invisible chains holding people back. They are not real barriers, but they shape how far you are willing to go and what kind of life you think you deserve. These beliefs are the quiet whispers that say you can't, you're not good enough, that life isn't for you. If you don't challenge them, they become your truth. They become the ceiling that keeps you from rising, the fear that stops you from even trying. Most people think they're facing reality when they're actually just living under limiting beliefs. But these thoughts aren't facts. They're stories, opinions, illusions that have been given too much power. They live only in the mind, and the mind can be changed. The only reason a limiting belief has control over you is because you've accepted it as truth. The moment you question it, the moment you push back, it starts to lose its grip. You have the power to break free from the beliefs that hold you back. It starts with a decision to stop accepting doubt as truth, a decision to challenge every thought that says I can't with the question, who says? A decision to begin writing a new story where success, achievement, happiness, and abundance are not just possible, but expected. If you constantly tell yourself you're not good at something, your brain will find ways to prove it. If you keep saying you're not worthy, you'll unknowingly sabotage opportunities. But if you start reprogramming your mind, if you begin feeding it new beliefs, ones built on strength, confidence, and possibility, everything starts to shift. Letting go of limiting beliefs begins with awareness, with recognizing the lies that have been accepted as truth. Ask yourself, what do I believe about myself that might not be real? What limits have I accepted without question? Because every mental limit was placed there at some point, but just like it was planted, it can be removed. Fear is one of the biggest roots of limiting beliefs. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. These fears create stories that justify staying comfortable, avoiding risks, and settling for less. But fear only holds power when a belief gives it permission. If you think failure means the end, you'll avoid taking chances. If you believe rejection means you aren't good enough, you'll stay silent. But if you change the belief, if you decide failure is growth, that rejection is redirection, then fear starts to fade. The key is this: no one is born with limiting beliefs. They are learned, and anything learned can be unlearned. No one is born thinking they're not good enough. These thoughts are picked up over time, but the moment they're questioned, the moment someone says, "What if that's not true?" the cracks start to show. It's not enough to reject a limiting belief. It must be replaced. Building a new mental foundation is crucial. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," the belief becomes, "I can figure this out." Instead of, "I don't have what it takes," it becomes, "Everything I need is already in me." Words matter, thoughts matter. A thought repeated enough becomes a belief, and beliefs shape reality. If you believe you're meant for success, you'll move toward it with confidence. But if you believe opportunities are rare, then that's exactly what you'll experience. This is why challenging limiting beliefs isn't just helpful, it's necessary. It is the difference between frustration and fulfillment. The mind is the starting point of everything. If it's rebuilt on strength, belief, and clarity, there is nothing that can't be accomplished. The only thing that defines what's possible is the beliefs you choose to hold on to or let go of. You have the power to look at the story you've been telling yourself and say, "Not anymore." Everyone can rewrite their narrative, let go of fear, and step into the version of yourself that has no limits. And once that decision is made, once those limiting beliefs lose their power, everything begins to change. The mind is the control center of it all. Every action, every choice, every result starts there. The way you think shapes how you live, what you try, what you fear, and who you become. If your mind is left unchecked, it will be guided by fear, doubt, the past, and the opinions of others. But when you take absolute control, when you guide your thoughts with intention and discipline, you take control of your entire life. Most people don't realize their thoughts are not facts. They assume everything that pops into their mind must be true. Every fear, every insecurity feels real, so they accept it. But thoughts are just thoughts. They aren't reality. The problem is, if a thought is repeated enough, it starts to feel true. Someone who constantly thinks, "I'm not good enough," will hold back, miss out, and stay small. Someone who thinks, "I'm not lucky," won't even notice opportunities. Someone who thinks, "I can't do this," will never try. And none of those thoughts are facts. They're just patterns, but just like they were created, they can be changed. The mind works like a machine, constantly running the programs it's been given. If the program is filled with self-doubt, hesitation, or negativity, that's exactly what it will produce. But if the program is built on confidence, clarity, and resilience, the results will be completely different. The good news is the mind can be reprogrammed. It can be trained, directed, and taught to work for you rather than against you. This is the real key to success. Not luck, not circumstances, but the ability to take control of your thoughts and use them as fuel instead of obstacles. Taking command of the mind begins with awareness. They allow fear to influence decisions, past failures to shape their future, and outside negativity to affect their inner world. But the moment you become aware of this, the moment you realize you can choose your thoughts, everything starts to shift. The first step in mastering the mind is choosing which thoughts deserve attention and which do not. Not every thought is worth accepting. Not every fear is true. Not every doubt is rooted in reality. You must learn to filter your thinking. When a negative thought appears, "I'm not capable, I'm not ready, what if I fail?" it must be questioned, not accepted. If it's not helpful, it must be replaced with something stronger. The words spoken in the mind matter just as much as the ones said out loud. When the mind is given clear, intentional direction, it responds. If you tell yourself, "I am disciplined," your actions will start to follow that belief. If you say, "I am unstoppable," you'll begin to push through challenges instead of backing down. If you affirm, "I control my thoughts, I control my emotions, I control my actions," they will no longer be at the mercy of outside circumstances. This is the profound difference between those who succeed and those who struggle. Successful people don't let their emotions rule them. They don't let fear decide for them. They move forward in spite of fear. They rewrite the mental script and take action with confidence. Your mind must be led with intention daily. It's not a one-time effort, it's a habit. Just like your body needs exercise to stay strong, your mind needs consistent training to stay sharp. Each morning you must set the mental tone. Declare, "Today I will be focused. Today I will stay disciplined. Today I will face every challenge with confidence. Today I will act like the person I'm becoming." These are not just words, they are instructions. The mind takes in what it's given and works to make it real. That's why people who constantly feed their mind negativity keep experiencing it. But those who intentionally feed themselves empowering thoughts start to see their reality transform. The power of the mind is undeniable. People have risen from impossible situations not because they got lucky, but because they refused to let their thinking be shaped by their environment. They achieved massive success not because they had more than others, but because they trained their minds to look for opportunity instead of limitations. The most elite athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders, and visionaries all have one thing in common. They have mastered their minds. They've disciplined their thoughts. Training the mind takes effort. It requires awareness, repetition, and discipline. It's easier to give in to fear. It's easier to treat doubt like fact. But easy doesn't build greatness. Easy doesn't create strength. Easy doesn't produce success. The people who go the farthest in life are the ones willing to do the mental work. The ones who wake up and take control of their thoughts, who fight the pull of negativity, who speak to themselves with strength and intention, just like they approach their actions. You can't wait until you feel ready to take control of your mind. You must decide now. You must make the choice to stop letting emotions dictate your behavior. You must refuse to be ruled by fear, by old stories, by the opinions of others. You must speak to yourself with power, with clarity, with conviction. Say it, I control my mind. I control my focus. I control my life. That must become your truth, your standard, your non-negotiable. Every challenge is a test to see who's in control, you or your doubts. The strongest people aren't the ones who never feel fear or doubt. They're the ones who refuse to let those thoughts win. They move forward anyway. Success, fulfillment, and achievement all begin in the mind. If the mind is weak, nothing else will hold. But if the mind is strong, nothing can stop you. The choice is simple. Command your mind or be controlled by it. Take charge of your thoughts or let them take charge of your life. You will direct your focus. You will shape their life with the thoughts you choose, the beliefs they feed, and the words they speak. Seeing yourself as a winner is not just about confidence. It's about building an unshakable mindset that drives every decision, every action, every result. Before anyone else believes in you, you must believe it for yourself. You must see yourself as a winner long before the world does. This isn't arrogance, it's certainty. Winners don't wait for proof. They create it. They validate themselves. The way you see yourself shapes the way you show up. If you see yourself as average, you'll act that way. If you see yourself as unworthy, you'll sabotage your own progress. But the moment you choose to see yourself as a winner, everything changes. Winning is not a one-time event, it's a mindset. It's waking up every day and choosing discipline over excuses, effort over comfort, growth over staying the same. Winners hold on to that identity through challenges, setbacks, and failures because they understand that winning starts in the mind long before it becomes reality. The real difference between those who win and those who don't isn't talent, luck, or resources. It's belief. It's the ability to believe in themselves no matter what they're facing. They won because they refused to see themselves as anything but victorious. They trained their mind to expect success, spoke to themselves like champions, and visualized their wins until it became inevitable. This isn't about pretending, it's about rewiring your subconscious to operate at a higher level. If you constantly tell yourself success is out of reach, your mind will believe it and shape your reality to match. But if you feed your mind a different message, if you say you're built for greatness, capable of anything, your actions will start to reflect that. Winners don't wait to feel ready. They decide. They decide they're worthy. They decide they're capable. They decide they're going to win no matter what. That decision alone sets them apart. Once the mind is convinced, the body follows. Once the belief is in place, the actions align. Once the mind expects success, success becomes inevitable. One of the most powerful tools for becoming a winner is visualization. Every great athlete, performer, or leader uses it. They picture themselves winning before it happens. They see themselves crossing the finish line before the race starts. They imagine giving the perfect performance because they've already experienced success in their mind. Your brain doesn't know the difference between something imagined and something real. If you see yourself succeeding, if you feel the joy of winning before it's real, your brain starts working to turn it into reality. But visualization isn't enough. You have to back it up with action. Winners don't just see themselves as winners. They act like it. They train, they study, they prepare, they work harder than everyone else because they know belief must be matched with effort. Seeing yourself as a winner means holding yourself to a higher standard. It means not settling, not making excuses, and never lowering your bar. It means showing up every single day like someone destined for greatness. The real test is how you think when life gets hard. A true winner keeps that belief even when everything seems to fall apart. When failure hits, that's when you must hold your ground. That's when you remind yourself of who you are, what you're capable of, and why you started. When you truly believe in yourself, nothing can shake you. When you've already claimed success in your mind, no setback can make you quit. When you've trained your brain to expect greatness, no outside negativity can hold you back. Winning begins in the mind long before it happens in real life. It's an unshakable belief in yourself and what you can do. I want you to speak to yourself like a warrior before battle, like a champion before game time, like someone who owns their destiny. The world will try to break you, tell you who you are, what you can or can't do, and place limits on your dreams. But you are not of this world. You are stronger than your setbacks, greater than the limits placed on you, and more powerful than any challenge ahead. So for just 3 days, I dare you. Wake up each morning, look yourself in the mirror, and say these words, not as a whisper, but as a thunderous declaration. I am powerful beyond measure. I am worthy of success, love, and happiness. I do not fear failure. Failure fears me. My past does not define me. My mistakes do not control me. I am becoming who I was always meant to be. Say it again and again until your mind believes it, until your spirit feels it, until your actions show it. Because when you change your words, you change your thoughts. When you change your thoughts, you change your choices. And when you change your choices, you change your life. Just 3 days. 3 days of speaking to yourself like the person you're becoming. 3 days of owning your power. 3 days of refusing to shrink. And after those 3 days, you won't want to go back. Because once you've experienced the truth of who you really are, you'll never again settle for anything less. Now go and speak life into yourself. The world is waiting for you.